Picture this. The CEO of the most hyped tech company on earth just admitted his $200 per month subscription loses money on every single customer. Not a little money. Not break even with growth potential. Loses money. And Wall Street's response? They valued his company at $500 billion anyway. Welcome to the AI bubble, where we went from cool chatbot to $7 trillion gamble in 24 months, and why the people writing the checks might be in for the rudest awakening since 2008. November 30th, 2022. Just a regular Wednesday, unremarkable. Cold brew flowing, engineers debugging code. Then OpenAI dropped ChatGPT. Within 48 hours, the internet had a new obsession. People were using it to write breakup texts, debug code, explain black holes, and generate bedtime stories. Dad, I'm talking to an AI that knows everything. It just explained quantum entanglement using Minecraft terms. Did I hear Minecraft? It has 1 million users in the first 5 days of launch. 2 months later, 100 million users. Fastest growing app in history. Instagram took 2.5 years to hit 100 million. Facebook took 4.5 years. ChatGPT did it in 60 days. And Silicon Valley, absolute panic. Inside Google's headquarters, executives were having a meltdown. We invented this technology. The transformer model? That was us. The research paper has our names on it. Then why is my son using ChatGPT and not Google AI? Because we were too scared to release it. Well, release something now. Call it Bard, Gemini, whatever. Ship it. Google scrambled. They had the tech. They'd had it for years, but they were terrified of what it might say. Of lawsuits, of bad press. OpenAI had no such fears. They shipped first. And in tech, first mover advantage is everything. Within weeks, Microsoft threw $10 billion at OpenAI, with another $3 billion on standby. Google panic-launched Bard, which immediately hallucinated in its first demo. Amazon started dumping billions into Anthropic. We're a dog-walking app, but the route optimization uses machine learning? Say no more. Here's $50 million. Don't you want to see our demo? Shut up and take my money. By mid-2023, if your slide deck mentioned neural networks or large language models, you were basically printing money. Companies with zero revenue, no product, just a team and a Google Doc were raising $100 million rounds. The bubble gave us technological marvels like AI-powered toothbrushes, AI recipe generators, AI dating coaches. One company raised $30 million to build an AI that summarizes potentially other AI outputs. We'd reached peak absurdity. But the real insanity? The GPU shortage? These little computer chips, which look like harmless circuit boards, became more valuable than gold or oil. Nvidia became one of the most valuable companies on Earth. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, started wearing leather jackets to conferences like he was the Mick Jagger of semiconductors, and he kind of was. Renting a single top-tier H100 GPU costs about $3 an hour. Sounds cheap, right? But startups don't need one. They need hundreds. A small startup trying to train just one model might rent a 500 chip cluster. That's $1,500 per hour. $36,000 per day. Over $1.1 million per month just for renting GPU. Yet, companies were still hoarding GPUs, like doomsday preppers stockpile canned beans. Nvidia couldn't manufacture them fast enough. The waitlist was, at one point, up to 12 months long. Black markets emerged? Seriously. People were smuggling $100 bills across borders. By 2024, everything was AI-powered. Your toaster burns bread with 10% more efficiency. Your calendar app suggests meeting times using algorithms. Your grocery store self-checkout, just a camera, but now it's machine learning. The party was in full swing. Champagne flowing, checks clearing. Then somebody asked the uncomfortable question, how much does this actually cost? January 2025. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, face of the AI revolution, tweeted something that made every investor's blood pressure spike. Insane thing. We are currently losing money on OpenAI Pro subscriptions. People use it much more than we expected. Yep, you heard it right. OpenAI charges $200 per month for their Pro tier. and they lose money on every single subscriber, which means the more successful they are, the more money they lose at this rate. When they launched ChatGPT Plus at $20 per month, their entire pricing strategy was test two prices, $20 and $42. See which people complain about less, pick that one. No market research, no cost analysis, just vibes. That's how a $500 billion company priced its flagship product. Vibes. But wait, it gets worse. OpenAI's 2024 finances? Revenue? $3.7 billion. Losses? $5 billion. They didn't just fail to make a profit. They lost more money than they made, by a lot. Now here's where it gets truly insane. Industry forecasts show AI infrastructure will require $6.7 trillion by 2030. Let me break that down. $5.2 trillion directly for AI infrastructure, GPUs, accelerators, power upgrades, cooling, and data center construction, while the remaining $1.5 trillion goes to traditional, non-AI cloud infrastructure. The four largest tech companies alone are expected to spend $350 billion in 2025. 1 year. And here's the kicker. To justify these costs, the AI industry needs to generate $2 trillion in annual revenue by 2030. Current total AI revenues? Somewhere around $200 billion. That's a 10 times gap. 100 billion? Yup, that's the number. Sam, our projections show us at 20 billion in 2025. You're proposing we hit 100 billion by 2029. It's the necessary growth trajectory? That's not a trajectory, Sam. That's a hockey stick drawn by someone who's never played hockey. Do you know what it costs to even attempt this? 115 billion in cash burn by 2029. When do we become profitable? 2029? Maybe 2030 or 2031? And if revenue doesn't hit $100 billion, if this hockey stick of yours snaps, then we raise more money. From whom? Who is left? Microsoft? Saudi Arabia? A really optimistic pension fund? Plenty of fish in the sea, guys. Since 2021, private investors have pumped hundreds of billions into AI startups. Most of that went to just 10 companies, whose combined valuations swelled by nearly $1 trillion. Everyone's betting they'll become the next Google. Then the failures started rolling in. ChatGPT hallucinated. Tech speak for completely making things up, and cited research papers that don't exist, legal cases that never happened, and statistics from an alternate dimension. Google's AI told users to put glue on pizza to make cheese stick better. It learned this from a Reddit joke. Yes, really. The lawsuits arrived next. Artists, writers, musicians, journalists, all asking the same question. Did you train your AI on my copyrighted work? Answer. Yes. The New York Times sued OpenAI. Getty Images sued Stability AI. Authors sued everyone. Musicians sued everyone else. We didn't steal. We learned from publicly available data. You scraped the entire internet without permission and used it commercially? Well, when you say it like that, it sounds illegal. By mid-2024, the cracks were showing. The vibe shifted from euphoria to something more dangerous. Doubt. The hype was loud, the math was ugly, and now everyone had the same uncomfortable question, buzzing in their heads like a mosquito at 3 a.m. So, when does this whole thing explode? This looks like a bubble. The losses are insane. The valuations are delulu. But this bubble isn't popping the same way the dot-com bubble did. Why? Because the people inflating it are also the people with the biggest wallets on earth. Unlike 1999, when startups had zero revenue and 17 foosball tables, today's AI bubble is being funded by big tech companies that actually make money. Real money. Buy an entire country if we feel bored money. Microsoft prints billions from Azure. Google prints billions from ads. Meta prints billions from showing you memes your cousin already sent on WhatsApp. These giants aren't investing in AI because it's profitable. They're investing because they're terrified of being the ones who didn't. If AI becomes the next iPhone moment, the next Google moment, the next entire world changes overnight moment, then the company that slowed down becomes BlackBerry. And nobody wants to be BlackBerry? Think of big tech like poker players who all brought unlimited chips. If Microsoft folds, Google wins. If Google folds, Amazon wins. If Amazon folds, Meta wins. No one blinks. No one folds. Everyone keeps raising the stakes. And that brings us to the real uncomfortable question. If everyone keeps spending, how do bubbles ever pop? Short answer is, they burst when a real-world event forces everyone to stop pretending. And historically, that event usually comes in three forms. One, the money suddenly disappears. The dot-com bubble didn't collapse because websites were dumb. It collapsed because the cash spigot shut off. Interest rates rose. Borrowing got expensive. Funding vanished, and thousands of companies evaporated overnight. If interest rates rise anytime soon, and big techs tighten their budgets, the AI bubble ends instantly. 2. A big, embarrassing meltdown happens. Every bubble has a moment, one spectacular failure that freaks everyone out. .com had earnings disasters. 2008 had Lehman. Crypto had FTX. AI's version could be a giant lab revealing massive losses, a botched model launch, or a lawsuit that freezes everything. So, where are we right now? Big tech is still spending. No meltdown earnings call yet. No FTX-level scandal. Reality is showing cracks, but not enough to break confidence. So yes, this bubble is inflated. Yes, the numbers are insane, but it won't burst because of hype. It bursts when one of the giants finally says, "All right, that's enough." Until then, the bubble floats. We're not at the explosion. We're at the tightening. The inhale before the scream. The tension before the snap. The episode right before the season finale.